Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Scale Smart podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, and also the founder of NextScale Growth. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by Jakub Dziwisz, the CEO of Orbify. Jakub, thank you for joining me today.
Hello, Jacob. Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here.
So, Jakub, kick us off. Just give me an overview of yourself, your experience, and what do you guys do at Orbify?
Well, I'm a software engineer by trade, right? So I graduated from computer science. I started coding when I was 12, etc., etc. All this standard, typical path for folks that are fascinated with computers. And then somewhere along the way, I realized that it's important to me what type of problems we are solving with technology, right? Because solving problems with technology is what I was doing for a living, but I wanted to have more impact on type of problems that we are solving. And also something that was super important to me is type of people I'm working with. I already had several folks that guys and girls that I really enjoyed working with in the past. And I was thinking, hey, it would be amazing to bring them together, bring something. And well, I spoke about this idea to my two other co-founders, Evelina and Michał, and they shared my opinion, right? That we would like to do something that is impactful and that we would like to work with great people. And together we decided that there is this big problem related to sustainability, environment, planet that is called global warming, right? We started this conversation before you hit the recording button from weather conversation. Weather conversation is typical for the UK, allegedly, but being concerned about the weather is unfortunately becoming more and more of a topic all around the world, right? And this is climate instability. Those severe weather events are becoming a new norm. As Peter Drucker once said, you cannot manage what you cannot measure, right? We cannot manage sustainability actions. We cannot measure the positive impact or negative impact that we as the humankind have on the planet unless we become innovative. And there is over 1,000 satellites orbiting the Earth, collecting terabytes of data every minute. But this data is not being used pretty much at all. Majority of the data that is collected gets wasted. There is not enough specialists that can analyze this data. And this is where Orbify comes in. Orbify is a satellite data platform that transforms satellite imagery into energy intelligence and environmental intelligence. These are like two things that we are doing. Energy intelligence, super important, especially in the context of what happened in Spain recently, right? Small glitch in the solar part of the grid, and boom, out of a sudden, not just one country, but two countries are dark, right? Then environmental intelligence. This is all about companies trying to understand how can they source commodities they are using for production in a more sustainable way. How can they compensate for the negative impact that they're making on the environment? All of those things. So grid infrastructure, supply chain can be also related to LNG, natural gas transport, etc. All of those things can be really, really nicely, easily managed on Orbify platform, where we are leveraging AI to analyze high resolution, mid resolution satellite imagery and transforming it with our machine learning into actionable insights.
Mm.
It was quite a long intro.
Well, thank you for that. A really, really high level. So, Jakub, Orbify it's rapidly expanded its reach, right? Analyzing over 600 million hectares over 125 different countries. What have been some of the key challenges in scaling the operations globally while trying to maintain that data accuracy and also the compliance with different regional regulations?
Well, for us, one of the first decisions we made is that we are building a remote first company. So we are not trying to find all those specialists in Poland, but we are looking globally or Europe wide to have everyone in the same time zone, right? Because being in the same time zone has a lot of benefits. So scaling, finding the right people would be much more difficult if we're building office-centric company. with remote first company, this is much easier. Then another thing is, of course, cloud, right? If one thing is when you are analyzing a small area, and then if you want to analyze millions of square kilometers, then this becomes much of a bigger problem. And we have found some really smart ways of using the cloud to ensure that despite scalability, our costs remain manageable. And the third thing is AI, machine learning, that is powering everything, right? Because again, if you want to build a system that, I don't know, is assessing deforestation in Europe, well, this is relatively easy. But if you are looking at the same feat globally, then due to diverse nature of forests in various biomes, right? So the typical European forest is totally unlike, I don't know, rainforest in Brazil. And by the way, what is typical European forest, right? Sherwood versus some nice forest in Sicily are totally different types of forests. So this is where AI comes into play. This is where we wouldn't be able to do this without machine learning.
And speak on the topic of AI and machine learning. You guys at Orbify are leveraging that and you're doing that to translate satellite data into actionable environmental insights. So how do you see the role of AI evolving in the context of environmental monitoring and compliance?
I think that AI is extremely powerful analytical tool, and we are just at the beginning of the era where AI can be used to analyze huge amounts of data. Like, I don't know, 10 years ago, there was super trendy term big data, right? We are now past big data. We are now talking about AI analytics, but it stems from this. It stems from the fact that if you are capable of processing terabytes of data within a blink of an eye, then you can uncover things that are not obvious. And what do I mean by non-obvious things? For example, vegetation health. So whether crops, forest in a given area is in a good condition or bad condition. Soil moisture. Soil moisture can also be observed from space. But on the energy side, super interesting non-obvious things are related on the one hand to demand development, new data centers. You mentioned AI, right? So new data centers are being built in large quantities, and then understanding when they will be connected to the grid gives grid operators, energy traders decent leverage or LNG supplies. So 10 to 15% of natural gas is being transported to Europe and the UK from the US and other countries with LNG vessels. And then analyzing patterns of those movements, analyzing diversions, analyzing delays, enables us to understand how prices will fluctuate. So these are the things that can be done when you have this, 300 kilometers above the earth view from satellite.
And where do you see the future of the industry heading, yeah?
Well, I think that we are all heading towards environmental intelligence, energy intelligence becoming more of a commodity. So it's no longer something that only high priests of Earth observation can leverage through platforms like Orbify. Environmental intelligence, energy intelligence data is something that pretty much every employee from the sector can plug into their normal daily business workflows.
And with AI as well, how can you see AI kind of advancing within this industry? Do you see it advancing even more than it is? Do you see any kind of negatives to how fast it's growing?
I don't see any negatives right now, but I'm an optimist. I'm a tech enthusiast, right? So this is my own bias. And well, the influence is amazing. Even if you think about transformers, right? Transformers is the approach to AI that is being used by large language models like ChatGPT, Grok, to understand that these are the words that were appeared so far, which word fits the best, right? So this is something that large LLMs are doing, but you can equally well leverage this approach in the context of analyzing geospatial information. These are some points. Which point, what development of events fits the best here, and these are some bleeding edge methods that we are leveraging at Orbify, taking some newest advancements in LLMs and applying it to geospatial analytics.
And looking over the future, Jakub, next 6 to 12 months, what are some of the goals you've got for the company in terms of expansion, bringing on new clients?
Well, we are right now very rapidly expanding into the energy space, and for us, this is pretty new vertical. So I expect to see a lot of growth there. But also, we are seeing that there is quite some interest with the uh, compliance related part of what Orbify offers, EUDR, new European regulation, for example. Well, we are seeing a lot of demand there as well. So the future looks good, I would say.
Amazing. And if people wanted to reach out to you, Jakub, find out a little bit more about yourself or maybe inquire about Orbify, where's the best place for them to do that?
I think that orbify.com, our website, is probably the best place. Over there, you can just click the button, book a meeting, and well, let's have a chat.
Amazing. Well, Jakub, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been great having you on.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you, Jacob, for having me.
Thank you. If you enjoyed this podcast with Jakub and enjoyed hearing about Orbify, make sure to check them out. I'll put their link down below in the description. I've been your host, Jacob. Thank you for listening.